Good morning, everybody. This is Don Blomdahl, Hall of Fame veteran sports cards and collectibles, coming to you live from Arlington, Washington. Let me close my office door here. We don't get any distractions from outside there. All right. So we got a couple people in the stream. One thumbs up so far. I like the thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if you come in the stream. Remind people if you help me out in the stream, if you want to. Have people give me a thumbs up. Jump into the stream and say hi. Let me know you're here. I struggled with this one. Oddball Wednesday. I'm running out of things to do for Oddball Wednesday. So I threw a different type of situation that I'm used to. In about 2 minutes here, 2 minutes prior to me going my official live time, I will show you what I've got going on here today. It's going to be a little bit different. I owe a small apology to Chad Hopkins. When I opened his package yesterday, I missed something. There was more stuff inside the envelope. So I got to go over that real quick, highlight again what he gave me yesterday, and then we'll go into my Oddball Wednesday. Oddball Wednesday. So some people just kind of jump in, give me the thumbs up, jump out. If they don't have time right now, they'll go back and watch my stream later when they have more time. But I just appreciate anybody that jumps in with me on the channel. So again, I'm struggling. I'm trying to change up my schedule just a little bit. I want to do another video series so that basically when I do have all the workings done with the new video series I want to do, it entails baseball cards, a little bit more of the history of baseball cards. Then I'll officially change my schedule. Until that time, I'll leave it the way it is right now. As soon as I work out all the fine details and the fine tuning on how I want to do everything for that video series, then we'll pretty much have we'll do baseball cards on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And I'll have my video series on Wednesday and Friday. Of course, my current video series on Friday is my Hall of Fame inductees video series. This week we will be not doing live, but I will post a video for the 2008 inductees. So we do have 10:28 now for my 2-minute preview prior to going live at 10:30 when I'll start the whole program out. Let me pan down here real quick so you can see what I've got on my table today. Sorry, get it just above the keyboard there, so that way I kind of know where I have my working area and stuff. So yes, a little bit oddball here. So we've got, I'll do a real quick recap here on Chad Hopkins' package from yesterday. I didn't get nothing new in the mail yesterday, so no family mail call today. I do know and am aware of a few packages I do have coming in, so when they come in, if I get one today, I'll be sharing it in tomorrow's video. And then this here is I'm going to do this kind of a new thing with a mystery binder. Do have some items in here. I'll go over those in just a little bit. Move this out of the way real quick, show you what we got. So from previous videos that I did, these are from 3 different videos that I did. I'm going to just go over and highlight these for kind of like oddball things in case you hadn't seen those videos. But this one is 2006 World Baseball Classic. Has a lot of international players in this one. I'll go over the cards real quick in that one. This was another package from Chad Hopkins. He sent me, it's a post 1995 collector series checklist. Show you the back of that real quick. There's some collector's cards, a little bit different in here that Post got permission from Major League Baseball to do. And then this one here is Major League Baseball in postage stamps. Imagine having something in postage stamps that has something to do with baseball. But remember, if you've seen any of my live feed texts that I put in there before you jumped on, if you saw them, I am a collector of many different things. I collect coins, I collect stamps, I collect cards. Can't know if I left anything out. Oh yeah, for those that have seen my early vintage videos, I am a Looney Tune fan. This one here, I got a couple about 2 weeks ago, I think it is now. This is Looney Tunes. I bought this from one of our channel people as a collector plate with some of your favorite Looney Tune characters on it. But Warner Brothers. So that is amongst other things that I do collect, and I am crazy, but it is 10:30, so we are going to start getting into my stream here. So welcome to everybody that's out there, and I do have a lot of silent partners that are out there that do watch the streams either while they're working. I got one he's a truck driver, and so he just has my stream on while he's driving truck. So he has the entertainment factor, the the essence basically of listening to the channel while he's driving and working. I know people do that with it in the background. I'm trying to remember. I might get it wrong. Can't remember if it's Sportsline. It's one of my guys. He sent me a whole box of stuff. He sent me packs, but he's down in Arizona, I believe, and he sent me something. All kinds of packs, all kinds of cards, just neat stuff that I can give me more content for my video. That's what I really enjoy when I get stuff in the mail where I can use it for more content. Because since retiring, I'm on a limited budget now. I did have when I actually got started in this. Pretty much, I had a budget on what I would spend on buying things for doing something like this, and it got spent in no time. I can see how expensive this hobby can get. But so without further ado, let me get into what we're doing for our Oddball Wednesday. So this is a note from Chad. He's the one yesterday that sent me this. It wasn't an envelope. You can probably see that. I don't think I'm getting too bad a reflection. There we go. A little bit less reflection right here. But so he sent me this, but I didn't even think to look in the bag. And sure enough, usually when Chad sends me something, he does have a note, and he did have a note and something else in there. This is a little a game. What game? And I'm trying to remember. I think I read the year somewhere. I want to say it's 89 or 90. But you can see on the front there, you got Ken Griffey Jr., and this is a multiplayer card there. It's called Classic Baseball from 1990. All right. But he did have a letter. I'll read his little note real quick. It said, "Hey, Donald, just a quick note to say congrats on your 333 subs. Just found a couple things for you this weekend. Hope you enjoy. Talk soon, Chad H." So yeah, he did text me last night. Me and him text and talk on the phone sometimes. But he said, "Hopefully you didn't throw that bag away. There was something else in there." And so I didn't throw it away. I repurposed things. I'll use that to send another package out to somebody. But he did send me that, and he did send me a few baseball cards of somebody that I collect. My most notable one, of course. I like when he finds odd ones that I know I don't have, some for sure. This is a Cal Ripken Jr. From the 1992 All-Star Game score, but this was probably a Procter & Gamble. You can see the PNG there. Must have been some cards that they put in Procter & Gamble card sets. It's a 5 out of 15, and I don't believe I have that one that I'm aware of for Cal Ripken Jr. I really enjoy that. And then he sent me another. This is a 1993 Collector Series Cal Ripken Jr. from Post, a Post product. So that there is also an oddball, definitely type card. That's why I figured I'll throw these in with my oddball video, since I did miss it yesterday. This could have been the highlight of a whole video right here. And then this one here is a Superstars Cal Ripken Jr. This here is a 1992 checklist card from it's called as Superstars. I think, yeah, this I don't even know for sure who made these back in the day, but it's just called a Superstars set. I don't believe I've ever seen this one either. Superstars 1992. Oh, okay. This is kind of neat and different. I see the back of the card now. It says Cal Ripken Jr., Baltimore Orioles, 1992 to 9, and then 92 to 94, 1991 card checklist. So it says in 1992, Cal Ripken Jr. had a Topps baseball card, number 150, a Topps Stadium Club, Series 1 and 2, number 430, a Don Russ Series 1 and 2, number 223. It just goes down the list. So it's a checklist for Cal Ripken Jr. for that year for what baseball cards he had. That is very interesting. I've never seen one made up like that. And then next here, I've got more from Cal Ripken Jr. National Sports Monthly, 1992. And it just says on the back here, Cal Ripken, the last American hero. Let me read the back of this here real quick. In high school, Cal Jr. was an all-star soccer and baseball player at Aberdeen. A second-round draft pick in 1978, Cal came up to the bigs at the end of the 1981 season. He started as a third baseman, but Earl Weaver moved him to shortstop, where he hasn't missed a game since May 30th, 1982. At 31, he is in the final year of his contract, and after this last season, where he won everything but a World Series ring, you have to ask yourself, what will probably the best shortstop of all time be worth in this crazy free agent marketplace? So this is kind of neat. But I didn't get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of these cards. I got 6 of these cards that he found for me from this. Oh, here, let me turn it this way. There we go. He got me 6 of these same exact cards. So that is just so cool. Thank you very much, Chad, for that. He's always thoughtful and doesn't just pick me out any Cal Ripken Jr.'s or Ken Griffey Jr.'s. He does his best to try and find something that he don't think I have. So I acknowledge and thank him for that. That is just so cool. But before I came up with this other idea on what to do, since I was battling, I was going to maybe just read through the instructions on this thing and set this up and just have us a baseball game. That might be coming down the future, though. So just keep that in mind. If you see this again, or if you see it set up on my counter down here, we might just be spinning this wheel and having a baseball game going on here. I'm wild and crazy, asked my daughter. If you want to really be challenged and see how crazy I am, go into my YouTube channels and go to my oldest or my most streamed video. And if you go back from there, when you do the sort order, you'll see some crazy things I did in the Philippines. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. If you discover the videos way back 10 years ago, you'll see what I'm talking about. And then next live stream when you're on, you can just comment and let me know. You can comment on the video. I'll get an alert so I know you commented. But I just challenge anybody to go back into my old video archives. I've been on YouTube for 10 years. You say, 10 years? You only got that many subscribers? Well, back then I just posted the video content so that other people could see them when we went on this trip. But yeah, you'll see some interesting content in all of my old YouTube videos. And then hadn't done hardly anything with it except for maybe a sporadic video here and there that got uploaded into YouTube through other channels. But you'll see some interesting things there. So without further ado, let's open up this mystery binder for our next segment here. I'm just going to kind of open this to unlock it. So this is just some odds and ends pieces. I do have these listed on eBay because these are collector's type items. First off here, I just want to highlight and show you this little unique set. Okay, it's a 24 card set. Major League Writers. These are back in the day from 1990. This is a product put out by Little Sun. Little Sun was the name of the people that made this card set. And it pretty much highlights and goes through the different sports writers for Major League Baseball back in the day in the 90s, in the 80s mainly. So it's got a checklist on the back here. The first one, And then you have different ones that are listed here. You have Henry Chadwick is the next one down here. Jacob Morse. You have Francis Richer here. The center is Grantland Rice. This is Lee Allen. This is Joe Richler, Red Smith, and Dick Young. Just different sports writers from back in the day. And then we have our next group here. You'll see different ones. Jim Brosnan, Charles Einstein, Lawrence Ritter, Roger Kahn. The center is Robert Creamer, W.P. Kinsella, Harold Seymour, Ron Shelton, and Tom Clark. And then our next to last page here, we have Mark Harris, John Holloway, Peter Golenbach, Jim Bouton, John Thorne, and Mike Shannon. So these are different writers. This is a collector's set, and they are hard to come by. But I ended up getting one of these quite a while back when I got a big lot from somebody that it was picked up at an estate sale, and they didn't know for sure what to do with them, so they just sold them for a pretty good price that I got it on eBay. And I think it was 4 or 5 boxes I got sent to me out of this estate sale. But it is turned out, when I did the research on it, I was like, oh wow, this is definitely a collectible product. But some of you may or may not be into that. You can look online, see on my eBay. Just to kind of give a little shameless plug for my channel and my other things that I do. I do have a Patreon channel. I know I'm not really pressing for that as much right now, but I do have a Patreon channel. And if you do want to help support me and help me with my content and stuff, you could become a Patreon member. It can be just as little as the smaller tier I have it, I think you'll see the different levels. I put it up there months ago when I first started my baseball card channel and just went from there. So next year, I just want to go through and highlight. I do primarily baseball, but I do have other stuff. This here is you can kind of see this here. This is a football card set for all the Super Bowls going up to Super Bowl number 24. Up to 24, and it's just a highlight. You can see pretty much they have a picture and the posters from the different Super Bowls. And generally on the back and stuff, you have a picture of what the Super Bowl rings look like for that year, in case you ever come across the chance of trying to buy or get a Super Bowl ring. You'll know if it's authentic enough. You can look through and see what the style of the ring was for that year, which is kind of nice and neat. And then, of course, that was 9. This is 18. So this is just the first 24 Super Bowls. This was from that same estate sale that I got. So you'll have these here. All right. And I have one complete set, and then I believe this one's a partial set, if I remember. Or wait. Yeah, the first one is the official. That's right. The first one is the official posters, what the official posters look like for the Super Bowl. These are just different type abstract type card set that they created. Again, the same 24 again on this. So I have 2 complete sets of that one, and then I have just the Super Bowl highlight cards. And pretty much what they do on there is they give the recap of the scores and what happened in the Super Bowl on the back. You can kind of see it here. I know they might not be very clear. But again, I have these listed by set on eBay. So I just thought I'd share some of this stuff with you. All right. And let's see, let me go. Dun, dun, dun. And I do have a partial set of the first 2 that I showed you there. The reason this is a partial set as I go through here, it's missing only 1 card in the set. I'm missing Super Bowl number 22 here. Missing that card. If I ever do figure out and try and find that card, maybe I'll have another complete set. But just wanted to kind of share some of that with you. In my next oddball type Wednesday and stuff, I'll highlight some other things that I do have available in my trading card binder type sets. Some of it's trading cards from Japan. Some of it's Star Trek trading cards, just different things like that. But I just like sharing some of the different products and things that I've had through the years. So I'm going to go through real quick. We'll go with this one right here first. And I got this one, and then this one, and one underneath here that I'll go ahead and highlight, and that'll wrap up our Oddball Wednesday video. So this, of course, is, you can find these online if you want. I went to a card show. They do have some card shows around here, not too often. I have to go closer to Seattle to get to one. But me and a buddy of mine, we went to a card show, and I ended up finding this there, and I couldn't resist buying it. It was not that expensive, so I figured, well, let me give it a shot. And pretty much, I'll read the back of it real quick. It says, the World Baseball Classic is the ultimate international baseball tournament featuring teams from 16 of the best baseball playing countries and territories around the world. The World Baseball Classic, a 4-round tournament to take place in March of 2006, will consist of 39 games to determine one champion. Games will be played in the United States, Latin America, and Asia. The World Baseball Classic will showcase the best baseball players in the world playing for their home countries and territories. Players will include Major League Baseball superstars and other talent from leagues worldwide. So I just thought this was a really neat set when I did find it, and it is nice to know that you can see all the players that played in these in the Classic back in the day. So I'm going to set this one here, since I pulled out the second stack first, and then this is the first stack. So there's 50 cards in here. I'm just going to go through and highlight these really fast, and then I'll put them in the box so I can keep them in real nice mint shape. So of course, the first one we have here is Derek Jeter, representing the United States, as you can see on the flag there. Then we have also Ken Griffey Jr. representing the United States of America. And then we have Derek Lee. Derek Lee representing the United States. All right. Then we have Dontrelle Willis representing the United States. All right. Alex Rodriguez represented the United States. Jeff Francoeur, the United States. All right. Next, we have Roger Clemens represented the United States. A lot of United States players in the very beginning here and stuff. Then we get into the foreign nationals. Johnny Damon representing the United States. We got 9 people in the stream. Oh, that's pretty good. Chipper Jones, Hall of Famer Chipper Jones from the United States. Mark Teixeira, United States. It's almost like this whole first stack's probably United States. Don't worry, we do get into other countries here. Chase Utley, the United States of America. All right, Jake Peavy, United States of America. Now we're getting into some of our foreign nationals. Michael Collins, representing Australia. Michael Collins. Justin Huber, representing Australia. Jason Bay, representing Canada. Jason Bay. Jeff Francis, also representing Canada. All right, Justin Morneau, representing Canada. Guogan Yang, representing China. Then we have Wei Wang, representing China. Chia Hsien Hsieh, Hopefully I said it right. Chinese Taipei. Then we have Qin Lung Hu, representing Chinese Taipei. Wei Lun Pan, Chinese Taipei. Yang Chi Chen, Chinese Taipei. And then here we go, Mike Piazza, representing Italy. Mike Piazza. Albert Pujols, representing the Dominican Republic. And again, all these players took a part in that 2006 World Baseball Classic tournament. All right, here we go. Ichiro, representing Japan. Ichiro. David Ortiz, Dominican Republic. Jose Reyes, Dominican Republic. All right, Miguel Tejada, Dominican Republic. Nobuhiko Matsunaka, representing Japan. Toshikai Imei, representing Japan. Kazuhiro Wada, representing Japan. Shunsuke Watanabe, representing Japan. Jung Bong, representing South Korea. Jung Byum Lee, representing South Korea again. Seung Yup Lee, representing South Korea. Vinny Castilla, representing Mexico. Oliver Perez, also representing Mexico. Sorry. Jorge Cantu, representing Mexico. I'll just say it, Mexico. Trying to be funny here. And Andrew Jones, representing the Netherlands. Andrew Jones was from the Netherlands? Okay. Carlos Lee, representing Panama. Carlos Beltran, representing Puerto Rico. Carlos Delgado, representing Puerto Rico. Sorry, at least I don't have people commenting in here on my accents. Ivan Rodriguez with Puerto Rico. All right, here we go. Bernie Williams with Puerto Rico. Hey, we're jumping up to 11. Maybe me doing this is bringing in the audience. Bobby Abreu with Venezuela. Bobby Abreu. Miguel Cabrera, also from Venezuela, representing Venezuela. Johan Santana, representing Venezuela. And then number 49 in the group, Victor Martinez, representing Venezuela. And last but not least, rounding everything up, is Omar Vizquel, representing Venezuela. All right, so there you have it. Those were our representatives from Major League Baseball that basically represented their home countries in their 2006 Baseball World Classic that they did. So that's just an interesting oddball type of set. And then next, Chad Hopkins sent me this one too a couple weeks back. A 1995 collector's set. Complete 16-player set from Post. It's a interesting type set that Kraft Foods created. And this is the complete set. So let's open this up and I'll show you the cards that are included in this 16 card set. You could probably fold them and then you could probably put them in a penny sleeve so they're weren't as big, but these are what they look like. They're bigger cards, kind of like the large ones you see sometimes. I didn't even measure this. I don't even know if it says what the sizes are for sure. My guess is they're probably like a 3x4 maybe. Not quite, like about a 3.5x5. They're about like a 3.5x5 inch card, but this one's of course Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs. Hey, that's not Wade Boggs. This back one here is Wade Boggs. Sorry, I'm not even paying attention myself here. So this is Wade Boggs. So I won't show you all the backs and stuff, but this is Wade Boggs out of this set. And I'll show you what the back looks like. And it does have a crease down the center. So it's like it could be folded and probably put into a penny sleeve if you wanted to put them in a binder for display or something. But it's kind of unique. I don't probably think I would set it up the way they did on the box here. They kind of show you can set this up as your display. So you can kind of fold this over some sort of way. And then you can display your cards right on the back here in some sort of way. And it would stay like this. That way you can put it like on a table or a desk or something and kind of display the cards in here. I won't put them in here because it might damage the corners and stuff. But they did give like a display case for it if you did want to display it, which is kind of neat and unique. So I'll just go over the rest of the cards real quick. I won't go over each of them. That was Wade Boggs. This one's Jeff Bagwell, Greg Maddux, Ken Griffey Jr. Swinging the bat. Roberto Alomar. So they're nice, really good pictured cards, almost photograph size, which are kind of neat. Kirby Puckett, Tony Gwynn. They all look like they're basically shots from them hitting the ball. And then as soon as I say that, then this is Cal Ripken Jr. fielding the ball. Matt Williams. You'll see a majority of them are batting the ball. David Justice. They probably wanted Cal Ripken Jr. because he was such a good fielder. Barry Bonds. Mike Piazza. Albert Bell. Frank Thomas. Len Dykstra. And number 16 out of 16 for the set, Will Clark. Yeah. So that's that small 16 card set there. Let me just put them back in the box so I don't destroy them by dropping them, since they're in real good shape. All right, next, a little bit different, unique product. I'm going to slide that out of the way so you don't see it sitting there and it's a distractor. But this is a complete gift pack. I saw somebody on a YouTube video do this one, so I did a YouTube video on this one when I opened it. When I did get it in the mail, I ordered it through eBay, but I saw somebody on their channel do this one, and I was like, this is so cool. This is when there was only, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 26 teams, of course, because it's back from the 90s. But this is Major League Baseball in postage stamps, which is pretty cool. So it comes in a little set like this. I'll take this out, but I won't be able to put it back in the box because here, I'll pull these out so you'll kind of see them. These are if anybody knows stamp collecting, since these would be collectible type stamps, but I probably might not even put them in the binders. It says how to professionally present your stamp collection in protective Howard stamp mounts. So these are just the mounts if you want them, put them into your collector's book that they give you. I will take these out real quick and show you the stamps, and then I'll put them back in. If you're familiar with stamp collecting, these are put into like wax type bags like this for a reason. That's to help protect the quality of the stamp if it's not being put into an album. When it's closed properly and put in, it prevents moisture from getting in there. These are the back stamps in the old days when they had to be licked to be put onto a letter or an envelope. But this is Major League Baseball and stamps. So let me just show you the stamps real quick, and I'll just show you the layout of the collector book here. So these are baseball stamps. These are all, I believe, from Granada. Anytime you'll see them, different products like these, they're usually not U.S. stamps, because if you do the way the United States is, you can't really have somebody that's still alive, to the best of my knowledge, on a postage stamp, just like on a coin. You couldn't, on an official U.S. currency, you couldn't have President Trump on a coin that is legal tender for the day. All right, it has to be a previous presidential candidate or historical figure that goes on the stamps. That's why they got a Sacagawea dollar. They got the presidential dollars, but matter of fact, some of them they haven't even completed. I have a complete set up to date, which only goes up through Ronald Reagan, and even one or two of those I have in the collection that aren't real, because until they pass away, they can't actually prepare their presidential dollar and have it put into circulation. So, but without further ado, without going into all those boring details of non-sports card collecting items, Major League Baseball stamps. This is the National League: Chicago Cubs, Cleveland Indians, Tigers, Dodgers, A's, Red Sox, Mets, and the Atlanta Braves. So these are what these postage stamps look like, just like a sheet of stamps you can buy from the post office. This would be a complete sheet of the stamp. So this is, of course, that is National League. And these are some American League: Astros, Tigers, Phillies, and they do have old timers on here, so it's really nice. I mean, you can go through, you can see Houston Astros, they got Jose Cruz. You got Detroit Tigers, you got Al Kaline, you got Mike Witt, Tom Mattingly, Chuck Klein, Mark Langston, Hubie Brooks, and Harmon Killebrew. So you can see what these kind of look like. It's kind of like, looks like baseball cards, but it's a postage stamp with a baseball player on it and indicating their team. Okay, so that is Major League Baseball, American National League. And then the next sheets just basically have stamps on there. That way you'd have a postage stamp. And these are 30-cent stamps in Granada. So if you're using them, you could actually use them to mail, probably not from here, but if you're in Granada and you wanted to send somebody a letter, you could have put these stamps on your envelope and mailed it to wherever it was going. So here we got Johnny Bench, Dave Steve, Reggie Jackson, Peter O'Brien, Wade Boggs, Harold Bean, Stan Musial, Wally Joyner, and Grover Cleveland Alexander. So you can see the postage stamps here and what they actually look like. On the next one here, you got Jackie Robinson, Dwight Gooden, Brooks Robinson Jr., Nolan Ryan, Mike Schmidt, Gary Gaeta, Nellie Fox, Tony Gwynn, and Dizzy Dean. So you can see what these postage stamps look like back in the day. Very cool. Must have people just watching my stream in the background. I have not got anything in the chat room. But that is cool that I have people at least watching my content. So now we have another sheet here. This has Gary Carter, Hank Aaron, Gaylord Perry, Ty Cobb, Andre Dawson, Charlie Ho, Kirby Puckett, Robin Yount, and Don Drysdale. Another cool sheet of stamps there. Next one we have here is Louis Aparicio, Paul Molitor, Lou Gehrig, Jerry Leonard, Eric Davis, Pete Incaviglia, Steve Rogers, Ozzie Smith, and Randy Jones. There we go. You can see the stamps there and what they look like. For those that are watching while they're driving or at work and can't watch the video, you can always go look at the recap later when it posts online. And then the next one we have Roberto Clemente, Cal Ripken Jr., Bob Feller, George Bell, Mark McGuire, Alvin Davis, Dan Quisenberry, and Babe Ruth. There we go. So cool looking product here. Got, I think, two more sheets to go. George Brett, Joe Carter, Frank Robinson, Mel Ott, Benito Santiago, Teddy Higuera, Lloyd Mosby, Bobby Bonilla, and Warren Spahn. Cool postage stamps here. I'm a postage stamp collector. And then to top things off here, of course, here's some of the big names here on this last sheet here. Mickey Mantle, Roger Clemens, Rod Carew, Ryan Sandberg, Mike Scott, Tim Raines, Willie Mays, Brett Saberhagen, and last but not least, from the Pittsburgh Pirates, Honus Bonus Wagner. So Bonus Wagner postage stamp. So this is just very cool to see postage stamps of baseball players. You're so used to seeing baseball cards with all these players on them. These were postage stamps, and then they give you the book that you can collect them in, which is kind of cool, I think. It's kind of like your own stamp collector's book for the postage stamps, and I like the way they laid it out. Again, this is a 1990 product. I believe the copyright on the book is 1990. If I remember right, looking at for the copyright here. Pretty sure it just gets the copyright. I know somewhere I saw there. Yeah, right there. Major League Baseball and postage stamp, copyright 1990 by the Philatelic International Incorporated. All right. So let me close that up there. Keep that secure. But again, this is what the book looks like. Major League Baseball and stamps. Then I'll just kind of highlight through Major League Baseball and stamps and who it's produced by. Here you can see a nice little picture or photo here of all the teams that were in place for this commemorative edition postage stamp book that they created. You can see all your favorite team emblems there, except for all the newer ones that are out now. And then it breaks it down throughout the book, Major League Baseball in general, and then it gives you a little bit of history for each one. I'll go down in order. It looks like they go alphabetical. Atlanta Braves, Baltimore Orioles, Boston Red Sox, California Angels, Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox, Cincinnati Reds, Cleveland Indians, Detroit Tigers, Houston Astros, Los Angeles Dodgers, Kansas City Royals, Milwaukee Brewers, Minnesota Twins, Montreal Expos, New York Mets, New York Yankees, Oakland Athletics, Philadelphia Phillies, Pittsburgh Pirates, St. Louis Cardinals, San Diego Padres, San Francisco Giants, Seattle Mariners, Texas Rangers, Toronto Blue Jays, World Series stats, World Series club standings, and acknowledgments on the back cover. So it tells you as you go along. It gives a little bit here. I'm just going to read the first page since I got a few minutes here. The history of baseball. Wind up, delivery, swing, and crack. There is no other sound on earth like that made when a bat and baseball meet. The crack of a bat is invariably followed by the roar of the crowd. Almost nothing can instantaneously raise so many people to such a high level of excitement. It is also a uniquely American sound. Games played with some form of bat and ball date back thousands of years, but baseball, as we know it, evolved in New York State in the mid-19th century. At the time, several variations of the sport were being played, but Abner Doubleday is credited with developing and standardizing baseball in 1839 in Cooperstown, New York, now the site of the Baseball Hall of Fame. In 1845, Alexander J. Cartwright made further modifications. His team, the New York Knickerbockers, and the New York Nine played the first officially recorded game under the new rules in Hoboken, New Jersey on June 19th, 1846. The dust had scarcely settled when Currier and Ives began selling colored lithographs commemorating the game, but the sport that came to be known as the national pastime was largely restricted to upper crust gentlemen's clubs, and players were supposed to conform to high standards of personal conduct in order to be eligible for membership. By 1858, there were nearly 100 such teams, and the National Association of Baseball Players was formed to help enforce the game's amateur status. Baseball was not destined to be an amateur sport. However, in the same year, teams began charging admission, and some began secretly paying star players as early as 1860. The Civil War interrupted formal team play, but picked up games among soldiers served to spread baseball's popularity throughout the century. After war, baseball quickly lost its amateur status. The Cincinnati Red Stockings became the first all-salaried professional team in 1869, and they traveled extensively, challenging local teams from coast to coast. The first professional league, the National Association of Professional Baseball Players, was founded in New York in 1871, but unregulated professionalism brought with it a host of problems. Monetary concerns soon overshadowed the game's gentlemanly origins, and gambling and bribery were rampant. Players were rowdy, drunkenness was commonplace, and contracts were seldom honored. Public confidence in the game reached such an ebb that baseball's future was at stake. That formation of the National League in 1876 and the American League in 1900 finally put control back into the club owners' hands and brought strong regulation to the sport. Baseball's modern era and its current popularity began in the 1920s with the emergence of Babe Ruth and other superstars. Ruth's charisma raised public enthusiasm for the game to new heights. Today, that enthusiasm is stronger than ever. Over 50 million fans attended professional baseball games in 1987. Probably a little bit higher now. And the television audience was even larger, with nearly 30% of all U.S. households watching last year's World Series. Along the way, baseball has made both large and small contributions to American culture. Our everyday language is rich with expressions derived from the sport, and a grand slam to a strikeout. Each of us has sung Take Me Out to the Ball Game, a song written in 1908 by two men who ironically had never been seen a game played. And Casey at the Bat has been many a schoolboy's first brush with poetry, and in a spirit characteristic of Americans' eternal optimism, we know that no game is ever over until the last man is out. So it gives you a little bit of a history of the early starts of baseball right there in the front of the book. And then it goes through, as you put each of your stamps into the book, you can go through and read information about each of those stamps that are being input into the book here. So it just gives you page after page, where usually it looks like, they'll highlight a team, the Atlanta Braves, and then some of its players. And each page, I believe, as you turn, highlights a different team. Baltimore Orioles, Boston Red Sox, Angels, Chicago Cubs. Then they show you on the map where they're located within the United States. You can see the map there. It shows you where the ball club plays as of the 90s. Of course, with the Montreal Expos, that changed in 2004 when they moved to the Washington Nationals. And so, yes, these were the teams basically at that time frame. Cleveland Indians, Detroit Tigers, Houston Astros, Los Angeles Dodgers, Kansas City Royals, Milwaukee Brewers, Minnesota Twins, Montreal Expos, which are no longer there anymore, but they were just up above New York on the map there in Canada. The New York Mets, the New York Yankees, the Oakland Athletics, Philadelphia Phillies, Pittsburgh Pirates, St. Louis Cardinals, San Diego Padres, San Francisco Giants, Seattle Mariners, Texas Rangers, Toronto Blue Jays, which were basically up above between the two Great Lakes there above Western New York. And then there you have it. Then in the back they list all the different World Series winners all the way up through 1990 with all the stats for 1989 for the World Series. It gives a breakdown for all the teams. Oh, okay. So the New York Yankees at the time were in 33 World Series, going down to the San Diego Padres when they made it one time. And then how many times? So the Yankees won 22 World Series and lost 11, so they didn't win them all, that's for sure. Teams with the most World Series victories at that time, of course, was the Yankees with 22, Cardinals with 9, going down the list. So that's just a synopsis of the book. Just wanted to highlight that one with you. I know I've gone a little bit farther than I wanted to with the video, but that's okay. I didn't want to shortchange you guys. This will get put back into the box, and then I have one last lonely item. I found this at a thrift store when I was looking around for things, just popping in and see if I could find something in our local area. Didn't have much for different areas and things, but I was able to find a Ken Griffey Jr. Pro Talk. Didn't even take it out of the wrap here. I'm sure the battery does not work anymore. This is copyrighted 1998, so this is 21 years old. This is 21 years old. That's the year I retired from the Navy. So I don't think the battery really works, but maybe if I put another battery in there, if it has one, I don't even see where the battery goes. Or if it was even changeable. But at least it is nice. It says you can push the button, but you have to take the little plastic coating off here because they probably didn't want you to run down the battery. I just wanted to share that with you to just close things off here. And without further ado, this is Don Blomdahl, Hall of Fame veteran, sports cards and collectibles, coming to you live from Arlington, Washington, and signing off for now. Tomorrow we'll be back with Pack. Is it Pack Break Tuesday? What is my schedule for Thursdays? Box Break. No, Throwback Thursdays. Boy, I'm really all dumbfounded here. I got a bunch of things to do. I got to head out to my church and get ready for our garage sale. I got to borrow some tables from our church to set up starting tomorrow for our garage sale this weekend. Again, my Friday and Saturday videos will not be live. I will be pre-recording them and putting them on each morning before I start my garage sale. So until then, I will see you guys tomorrow for Throwback Thursday. Have a great, wonderful day, and it's been a blessing to be with you all this morning. Bye now.